Hey everyone, I'd like to welcome you guys to Morning Mimosas. This is our very first interview with Dominique of C.A.R.E.S. I'd like to welcome her to our podcast. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. How about you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going?
So my name is Dominique. I am 31 years old and I reside here in Colorado. And a little bit about myself, a little background. So I was genetically separated from my family at 16 years old. By CPS came in and they removed my little brother and I. And it seemed like from that moment, like my whole world changed. You know, I mean, there may have been traumas and stuff in the home that weren't okay. But once I was removed and placed in a system, like that trauma can never compare to the trauma that happened in the home. Like the trauma that happened out of the home was way more severe than the trauma in the home. And then a couple of years later, I was traumatically separated from my little brother. We're going on 14 years today that we have been separated. And I did find him a couple years ago, but he said he didn't want to have contact, so I still consider that as, we were separated. And the reason why he doesn't want to have contact is because he was brainwashed to believe whatever, his adoptive parents made him believe, So, I just had a lot of depression and stuff. And from that moment, I started doing advocacy work with Project Foster Power, which is a local group also here in Colorado that helps change the foster system. And one day, another member and I were speaking about foster dads sneaking into your room at night. When I tell you, this lady came to us and literally shut our conversation down. She was like, we don't talk about that. Those are what we call red stories, right? She said those are red stories, and red stories is stories that we don't want to give the community because it can be triggering. And from that moment, I felt like that my voice was shut down by somebody I thought I had a voice with. And that is when I was like, I'm going to create a nonprofit called C.A.R.E.S. And, back then I didn't know it was going to be called C.A.R.E.S. But I was like, I'm going to create a nonprofit to where anyone and everyone can use their voices about the foster care system. And they can speak about anything that they want to. And if it's traumatic for others to hear, and if it's triggering for others to hear, then good. That means that we have a problem. If it's triggering, that means that it's a problem. And I'm not going to allow these children to be quiet or to be such, or to be like, hey, let's not talk about that. Let's just talk about how case workers need better, training. And it's like, no, let's talk about the fact that these folks literally come in and they freaking say, oh yeah, I want this kid. And they get $1,500 a month for each child in the state of Colorado. It's $64 a day. If you times that by 30, we're talking about $1,500. If we times that by 2, say me and you are in foster care and we go to a home, that is $3,000 that the foster parent is getting for me and you. But then, yeah, you're feeding me like shit. I'm not getting new shoes. I'm not getting new clothes. Me and you have to share clothes. And, that was just uncalled for. So then, I know I'm jumping around in circles because I'm really nervous. So forgive me, Holly. But, that's why I wanted to care, is because we care and we want people to know that we hear them and we hear them. I have hygiene products and deodorants and, gift cards for clothing for these youth because they deserve it, They deserve to know that they have a community that stands behind them. Yeah.
Okay, so that actually leads me to my next question. So I was going to say, so who cares? You cares. So how did you caring become the big thing that we see now, which is C.A.R.E.S?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So how did you caring become C.A.R.E.S? How did the care that you felt for the children that have been through the exact same things that you have, how did you caring become C.A.R.E.S?
How did we C.A.R.E.S become C.A.R.E.S?
Yeah, how did your caring become C.A.R.E.S?
So first and foremost, C.A.R.E.S stands for Children Advocacy Resource Educational Services. And then also I like to throw in there how we C.A.R.E.S, because we do. And we became that because we realized that the children needed us. And C.A.R.E.S was actually founded by myself and my little brother's foster mom. She was never my foster mom. However, from a foster mom's perspective and how like CPS even did her as like a foster mom, you know, it was like very bad, very bad. Like CPS has its faults, and you know, so we came together and we're like, hey, I want the community to know that when CPS comes in and removes the child and places them in a good home, you know, you see it on TV, kids get adopted, like, yay, it's cool, right? Everybody's like, yay for CPS, but then in reality, those are the stories that the community hear. They don't hear, hey, CPS took me from my alcoholic daddy, okay, keyword alcoholic daddy, and then placed me with a foster dad who comes into my room at night and fucking rapes me. Did you really save me? You know? So that's where C.A.R.E.S begins, because we care. I care about the kids in the system. I honestly, like, it is in my heart and in my soul to express that CPS is just another form of legal human trafficking. They do not come in and save all kids. They do not make sure all kids have families. If CPS was so concerned about all kids having families, adoption wouldn't be the price that it is today. You know, and then also just to touch base on that part, adoption was meant for children to have families, right? That's what adoption is made for. Somehow, some way, adoption has turned into for parents healing their needs of infertility, or parents just wanting kids, you know, to heal that trauma. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking, please, everybody out there. I'm not knocking adoption. I am totally for it. But when you need to understand that when you're adopted, you need to adopt with the mindset of a child needs a family, not of the mindset of, oh, I just want a kid. You know, because you don't get to heal your trauma by bringing someone else in. We need to heal their trauma, and then he heals your trauma.
Yes.
You know, and I need CPS to go back to that mentality of children need home, not parents need kids. You know, children need family. And like I said earlier, if CPS honestly cared about everyone having a family, adoption wouldn't be as pricey as it is. In order to adopt, sometimes they require you to have a 2-parent home. That's not fair. That's not fair. I get the structures. I get the statistics behind it. But me as a single woman, and I'm making bank, and I can afford to adopt a kid, you should let me adopt a kid. That kid deserves me, and I deserve them. You know, they deserve to be in a loving, safe home. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-parent home, or even when it comes down to gay couples that have just been allowed to adopt children. To me, that blows my mind. Oh, society doesn't want children growing up in gay homes or whatever. Cool. Okay, cool. It's you say tomato, I say tomato. But at the same time, who's to say that these 2 gay couple isn't like the best thing since sliced bread? You know, we don't get to judge by how one acts in the bedroom at night. That's not fair. You know? But then, here comes Sally with 50,000 racks in her pocket, and she's like, I want the little blonde hair, blue-eyed ones. That's human trafficking.
Man, that's rough.
You know, we won't even get to the concept of sometimes, not saying all the time, but sometimes CPS comes in and takes children who do not need to be removed. And I might get a lot of backlash or whatever it is, but I am 100% convinced that African American families, we are targeted more by CPS than anything in the world, because we already have a biased stigma on us as it is. When I walk out my door, just because of the color of my skin, I have stigmatism on me. So if somebody was to call CPS, and my daughter is beautiful, okay, my daughter is beautiful, they call CPS is gonna want my baby. That my little baby can go for top-notch dollars. You know? And then what? She gets adopted by some, like I said, don't knock me, but like some white family, and then she loses her culture. She loses her train of thoughts. Like, that's not fair. Like, right now, I got a child in my care who is Hispanic. Her name was Sakali. They changed her name from Sakali to fucking Becky. And that hurt her. And she was 10 years old when they changed her name. And she's like, why are you taking my name? Why are you taking everything from me? You know, that's how she felt. And then, like, you know, when it comes to, like, her culture is Hispanic. Are they in the kitchen teaching her how to make chili rellenos? Or, you know, like, hey, are we talking Spanish? No, we're teaching her your culture and not her culture. And that's also unfair to these kids. So that's where C.A.R.E.S comes in, is that We advocate for the child's best need. Sometimes we have appeared in court. I've appeared in court in Atlanta, virtually, because some lady needed my help, and I helped her get her kids back. Like, hey, this is how you do it. Hey, we got to treat CPS like we treat the cops, unfortunately. They're in the same category. You don't have a warrant to enter my home. What do you need? Oh, you're here for a wellness check? Well, here's my daughter's face. That's all you need. Sorry, I get so passionate about this, and I can talk 1,000 miles, and I'm not like trying to stay on subject. So correct me.
No, it is perfectly okay. This interview is about why you started C.A.R.E.S, and anything that you need to say, everybody wants to hear it. So I'm sitting here listening, and everybody, when this drops, will be listening as well. So, but I just wanted to go and ask you about, since you actually just mentioned it, what is your opinion on Black children and the foster care system? There's always an issue with what they call the minority. So what is your opinion on that?
So when it comes to Black children and minority children, I feel like that, we were the most singled out. Nobody wants, who really cares about us? Are we getting adequate clothing? No. And don't get me wrong, I know that there's some Black kids. I'm just speaking from my experiences and my Black foster brothers and sisters. We had to push harder at excelling through life. We had to push harder as to show these white folks that, hey, I'm somebody, please take me home with you, please love me, please care me. And then, we had to push harder to where it is a little white kid, they probably get the best chance at life. I have a little white girl that I know whose foster parents was amazing. They put her through college too. They paid for her sponsorships. Me as a Black kid, my foster mom is not gonna do that for me. I'm just nothing but a paycheck. So white kids, unfortunately, they have it easier. Not saying this, please do not come and be one of the pick-me kids, because I do understand that there are white kids who do not make it, and I am sorry. But right now we are talking about the bias against African Americans. Just want to throw that out there for the community. And even when it comes to Black families, I feel like that the white folks don't like to see Black families succeed. So they want to come and detriments and remove your kids all because of something so little. I've seen people I've seen a Black mom lose her kid because she ran outside to her car and then her toddler locked her out and had gotten into some cleaning supplies. It was within all 10 minutes, and she was considered as a negligent parent because she should have been better eye keeping on her toddler. And to me, that's something like that is just such an honest mistake. We are parents. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. It's like you running out to get a package and your toddler is like, oh, what does this do? And they lock you out and you're like, oh, but it's an honest mistake. You don't deserve to lose your kids for that. You don't deserve to be called a negligent parent. A negligent parent is fucking the bitch that like to go party at night and fucking leave her kids home alone. That's a negligent parent. For sure. Okay? Or I've heard parents who lose their kids because they do leave their kids home alone because they have to work overnight and they don't have nobody. Am I saying that that's wrong? All right? Yeah, you shouldn't leave your kids home at night. But at the same time, this mom is struggling to make ends meet. You're going to take her kids because I'm talking about nothing was wrong. CPS just got a phone call saying that the kids were being left home alone. Kids were well-mannered. Nothing happened. Nothing dangerous happened, right? But yeah, because she left her kids home alone at night, she's a bad parent, okay? But then in CPS's eyes and in society's eyes, that's a bad parent. But in my eyes, I see a mom that was trying to make ends meet who needed extra support. That's what I see. And then I'm going to take your kid and then go give this foster parent $1,500 a month when I can be like, hey, let me give you this $1,500 a month so you can have childcare.
It's not right.
Right?
It's not right.
It's not. And I'm sorry, the Black families are targeted the most because we already have a bad stigmatism. But if you look up the statistics of the colors of kids in care, Black kids make up the majority. And when it comes to failed kids who remain in care, Black kids make up that majority too. According to statistics, when a child is removed from the home, the child remains about a year and a half in the foster care system before they get a permanent plan, right? Or before they're reunited with family. That's just according to statistics, right? The average. And then the other 20% is, which is what CARES is concerned about, is the ones who remain in foster care, who don't get to come back home, whose families was deemed as negligence. My family, my GEL literally came and told me, she was like, you cannot talk to your family ever again. They're full of shit. That's what she told me, exactly words. She said, your family's full of shit. They're full of lies and full of secrets. And you're not allowed to talk to them. That's what she's telling me. At 16,
Wow.
No. You don't get to say that.
Well,
sorry, I just get real passionate.
No. We're having a true conversation about what you are passionate about. There's no need to apologize. I just want everybody to be able to hear everything that you are saying, and I appreciate the passion that you have, because we need more people like you in the community. Our community is so selfish, and they only care about $1 and not the well-being of a child. That's what I've started to notice, like selfishness. And I feel like there's a lot of selfishness in the foster care system too. It's about not placing these kids in like safe. I mean, I'm not saying that's for all foster families, but rules and regulations, and just pretending to follow the rules, right, in front of the government, but actually abusing the children in the background. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, I wish that we could do better. I mean, my wish one day will become the truth, because I have faith in CARES. I mean, we've already passed the Sibling Bill of Rights. That was done with Project Foster Power and upon myself. And, just like getting people together. And I'm just a believer, because we were able to get the Sibling Bill of Rights passed. And when I heard Congress say, hey, we're sorry, we did not know this was going on. We didn't know that they were traumatically separating siblings. We don't know unless you tell us. And that has always resided with me, because you're right. You don't know unless I tell you. But I can come and tell you all day, every day. And you can look at me as, but then yet if I'm coming to tell you and I have 10 people behind me that's coming to tell you the exact same thing, then that means way more. My voice can only do so much. My voice can only get people to turn their head and look. But if there's 10 of us talking, they have no choice but to stop there and listen.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, hold on. Well, more than one person is coming to me about this situation, so this must be a real problem. And I just want the best. I just want every kid to know that they matter. I want people to know that they have a family with us. Even as far as when you turn 18, on your 18th birthday, I've seen people leave at midnight talking about, bye, and throwing your shit in a black trash bag. I don't know if like when you run across foster kids, you'll always hear one of them talk about the famous black trash bag. And the famous black trash bag is like, we throw all our stuff in a black trash bag and throw it across your shoulder. What? You guys don't even have the decencies of me to give me a suitcase, to give me a fucking backpack. Can I have my own blanket? Can I have my own pillow? Oh no, I gotta use the cover that is at my foster mom's house. This is your cover. You can take this with you anywhere you go. Nope, you leave that foster mom's, you gotta leave the stuff. And then half the time, your shit's stolen from the other foster girls, You gotta put your stuff in a black trash bag, and then on your 18th birthday, it's like, bye. What do you do from there? That's why if you look up the statistics of even sex traffic victims, 60 to 90%, Holly, do you hear me? 60 to 90% of sex traffic victims have been in the foster care system. That's a mighty big number. 60 to 90% of... Nah, you can't tell me. And then there's a lot of kids who go missing in the foster care system as well. Imagine, I don't have mommy and daddy to come looking for me. I don't have aunties or uncles to come looking for me. So I am the best thing to sell. Because who's going to come find me? Nobody. The only people that know I exist is the government. And all they have to do is say that they lost my paperwork. Yeah, talk about reconstructive.
Wow, wow,
If it was up to me, I could blow CPS up. Don't put that part in there.
Well, it's being recorded. I have to figure out how to edit that part out. But
no, I'm playing. You can put that in there, but no, it's just not fair. And then you're gonna come take my kid, and I can use $1,500 a month. But you're gonna come take my kid and give it to somebody else for $1,500 a month. That's where you guys got life backwards. Some parents can use that money. Parents lose their kids for couch surfing, for being homeless. Don't you think that you can give them that $1,500? Hey, I'm gonna give you this $1,500 a month for the next 6 months. You got 6 months to find yourself a place. There's no reason why you shouldn't. When I'm giving you an extra $1,500, you should have a place within 6 months, right?
Don't get me started about that. That money that they should be giving actual parents to help them with if they have issues, that to avoid CPS coming in. But that's a whole another subject, for real. Is absolutely
that's a
crazy.
whole other ballgame.
So I just wanted to also ask, do you guys have any more events for the new year, or anything that you're actually allowed to tell us? Or past events.
C.A.R.E.S will be hosting monthly events. So our most recent event we just actually had on Saturday. So we did a vision board party where people did their vision boards for the year. We gave everybody that came, we gave them a gift card, and we gave them calendars, like motivational calendars. I wish I had some to show you, but they're in my car. But we had motivational calendars and little gift cards. And, I can send you some pictures if you want to post them as I'm saying this too, so they could see. But it was a very good turnout. And then prior to that, in November, we had the Fosters Given, which was actually an excellent turnout. I had more people show up than I expected. There was 50 people there. It was overwhelming. I was like, oh my God, did we do this? And I partnered with Elevated and Connections, which Elevated and Connections is a nonprofit who supports sibling connections in the foster care. So I work very closely with them, and I'm very fond of them. So yeah, we did that little event together. And then the reason why we didn't do nothing in December was because my daughter fell ill and I fell ill, so that took a toll on us. And then just come with the holidays and that stress, so we took a break. But next month, I haven't picked a day. Maybe towards the end of the month, we're going to have a yoga meditation session for the youth. And when I say youth, youth, it is for current youth and former foster youth. So we work closely with current youth and former foster youth, but it seems to be more so of more former foster youth that shows up instead of current foster youth. But to each his own. Either way, we're helping. And then also another good thing about C.A.R.E.S is we open our doors to the community as well. We first and foremost, we provide to the former foster youth and the current foster youth, but whatever I have left extra, I dish it out to the children in the community, because C.A.R.E.S cares about all the children. We believe that our children are our future, and in order to have a safe future, we have to make sure our children are safe. So of course, our main priority is foster kids. That's our first priority. Following that, when I take care of them and I have gift cards left, I go around the community and I give little kids, here's some bags, or I see some kids at King Supers and I got some bags in my car. I open up my trunk and I'm like, here, take these,
Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. And that yoga session sounds like it's going to be fun. I was actually, Morning Mimosas was actually going to do a yoga session in July to honor my deceased daughter. So that is actually really
C.A.R.E.S
awesome.
know, so I can let my people know that that's what you're doing as well, because that sounds great. Everybody can use that.
Yes, ma'am. Is there anything else that you want to tell the people before I let you go? Is there anything else that you want them to know about you personally? Anything that you want them to know about C.A.R.E.S, or just anything?
No, ma'am. I think that we pretty much covered the passion and the big bias problems with CPS. I'm hoping to get people, who have been done wrong by the CPS or who are foster kids, to don't hesitate to reach out to us, that our phones are open. We're not like another nonprofit to where like, oh, after business hours you can't call me after 5 o'clock. Like, no. I mean, if it's an emergency and it's 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to answer my phone and be like, hey, what do you need from me? What can I help you figure out at this moment? And that's one thing that I know the community cares about us. Like, I had a youth reach out to me because she was stuck in the snow at the grocery store, and she was so heartbroken that she called another organization, and the organization told her, oh, it's after 5 o'clock. I would send you an Uber, but it's after 5 o'clock. So when she called me, that kind of like hurt my feelings, because I'm like, you guys are supposed to support the foster youth and former foster youth, and you tell her because it's after 5 o'clock you can't send her an $8 Uber? That's full of shit. No, when you're doing this, it's a full-time passion. Cause give me my space. I have children. I have, daily life needs where I can't always be there, but I'm gonna be there when you need me. We care, and that's just pretty much it. Nothing. I don't know. I'm nervous.
All right, guys. So that is Dominique Mallard of C.A.R.E.S. Like I said, I want to thank you so much for being on the Morning Mimosas premiere. All of her links will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, Ms. Mallard, for joining us today. All right. This is Morning Mimosas, y'all, where we put value in criminal justice, promoting healing and education in the Black community. Thank you guys so much for listening. Bye-bye.